Welcome to Making a Difference. My name is Jessica Langford, and I am here today with Dan and Nicole Johnson. So, would you like to go ahead and tell everyone, the audience, what it is that you guys do?
I would be happy to. We are a Columbia Montessori school. We are an independent, nonprofit, private school that serves students as young as 4 weeks up through age 6. And we currently serve about 90 students in 6 different classrooms. We have an infant room, a toddler room, pre-primary, and 3 primary classrooms. And we serve our students using approaches developed by Maria Montessori. So we're going to be a little bit different from a more traditional early childhood center.
Alrighty, so how did the school get started?
Well, it's kind of funny. We're Columbia's first Montessori school. We were founded back in 1967 by a group of area parents. They wanted a Montessori education for their children, but there wasn't a Montessori option in Columbia at the time. So they banded together and founded their own school, and we continue to be a parent-governed school to this day. It's kind of interesting. Nicole was a parent and was a board member, so she served as my boss for a while and is now a classroom teacher at Columbia Montessori.
Which is pretty cool. So you get to see all sides of how the school works out. So what is it like? How do you give back to the community? How does the community give back to you?
I think that a partnership between a school and a community is essential for a school to be successful.
Of course.
We do several things in order to try to create opportunities for the community, and at the same time we benefit from the community supporting us. We serve as an intern site for early childhood interns from Missouri, and they place their students in our infant and toddler classrooms. We serve as a volunteer site for service learning volunteers at Missouri. They have their children or their students serving as classroom assistants, working with the children in the classrooms, and they also place business students at our school to help us with fundraising and development, providing opportunities for us there. We serve as an intern site for Columbia College. They have their pediatric nursing interns do service at our school, so they have the chance to develop some experience working with children of the age that they would be serving when they become pediatric nurses themselves. It's a little different working with a child than it is working with, maybe a 60-year-old. So
Definitely.
Providing that opportunity for those students is great value for us, and it serves a need in the community as well. And then the community really comes together and helps support our mission, in particular supporting us during our annual Trivia Night and Silent Auction, which is coming up next Friday, April 11th. The community really bands together and they help us with silent auction items. They support us by purchasing tickets to the event and sending a group to participate in the trivia challenge, which is a great deal of fun and highly competitive, I have to say. And those funds and those resources that fundraiser provides for the school benefit us in many ways. Not only do they provide money for us to help train and certify staff at Columbia Montessori, but probably even more importantly, they help provide the scholarship funds that are essential in providing as many opportunities to young children in Columbia as possible.
Cool. Sounds like a pretty fun night as well. So who thinks of the fundraisers and how do you guys put those together?
Well, the fundraisers are often run by the board of directors. They usually start getting the wheels running, and then the parents work together along with the staff and the families, and we work with the community to do it. So mostly the board of directors will be creating the idea behind it, and then they get volunteers to help out and make it come to fruition and to be a great event. So.
Okay.
And it's important for the board and the teachers at the school to be working together in order to identify needs for the school, both short-range, medium, and long-term needs for the school. Our large annual fundraiser obviously is the most important because it provides the scholarship assistance, but other fundraisers during the course of the year might provide funds to add push work to the toddler playground, for instance. So those serve other needs.
Okay, pretty cool. And if anyone would like to volunteer or anything like that, how do they get in contact with you guys or anything like that? How does that work?
They can stop by the school, visit the office, visit with me or the assistant head of school. They can also email us at office@columbiamontessori.org, and we would be happy to set up an opportunity for them to get some volunteerism and for us to benefit from the talents that the community of Columbia would offer us.
Okay, and shifting it back to the school itself, how is it different? Like, how is your school different opposed to like more public schools, like traditional schools? How is like classroom set up?
I would say that when people walk into a Montessori classroom, they tend to notice the differences before they see the similarities. And the differences kind of boil down to three things. I would say that the role of the child is different in a Montessori classroom. Instead of the teacher telling the child what the child is going to be doing, how difficult that work is going to be, how long they spend doing it, and when they finish what they do next, instead the children in a Montessori classroom are learning from the materials that are surrounding them in the room. So that changes the role of the teacher. Instead of being, as I sometimes say, a human Pez dispenser with knowledge pellets flying out of their mouths and passive children receiving this knowledge, the teacher isn't the source of all learning in the room. Instead, the teacher is a guide to the materials that the children are learning from. In Montessori, we believe that children are self-directed and self-motivated learners, and thus much of the learning that takes place is going to be independent. And it'll be the child working with the materials that surround them. Now, the teacher's job then is to be much more a guide to the work and observational, so that they can recognize when a child has mastered the set of skills that one piece of work is trying to impart, so they can move them on to the next more challenging piece of work. And I think that the presentations are the way that happens.
Right, absolutely. And I think one of the things that you'll see as a key difference is, like Dan was saying, that independent work. And as a teacher and as a parent coming in and seeing the children, looking to see where they're at and what they're interested in and letting them move right through to that work, it's really fun to watch how quickly a child is able to move on from one piece to the next, depending on when they're interested and excited about it. And so it's been a great experience watching all of that come to fruition with my own daughter, but also with the friends in my classroom. So
that's pretty cool, and it seems like it's like grooming the kids for like further leadership, especially like when they get older. So that's pretty cool.
yeah.
I would definitely say that the goal of most Montessori teachers, and I wouldn't necessarily limit it to just Montessori teachers, I would say many teachers share this goal, but in Montessori it kind of is the reason for our existence, is to promote the idea that a child is self-motivated and moving on from our environment has the skills to be a lifelong learner. We obviously want them to be self-reliant learners, not necessarily learning because they're compelled to by an adult, but rather from an intrinsic love of learning.
Okay, and Nicole, as you mentioned, you do have 2 children that attend the school as well. So how do you see like their education molding them as like, future adults and stuff like that? Like, how do you see this benefiting them?
Well, my daughter started in a non-Montessori program, and when we moved her over, it was an amazing transition for her. She started becoming much more independent and wanting to do things on her own, and that was such a great thing to see happening in my daughter, because she now wants to do things by herself. She's not asking, Mommy, do it, Mommy, do it. She's, I can do this, Mom, and she's showing me the things she can do. So for her specifically, I've been just watching her grow into this really cool little person that I just love being around. So she's definitely become very independent, and she's self-regulating, and she's able to know what she can and can't do. She knows her limits, and she's willing to step out of her boundaries, but it's really fun to watch her grow. My son started in Montessori. He goes to a friend's house during the day, a couple of days a week, but he's with us a few days as well. And he's already so independent. The language he's using, the things that he's doing, he puts work away and things away when he's done, which is just amazing to see him doing it, and he's not even 2 years old yet. So it's really fun to watch the difference between my 2 children as to when they started, but they're both just so independent, and I love that they've got that initiative and have that desire to learn and to want to take on and do more things. So.
And for a parent, that's frankly kind of a double-edged sword, because you like your child to be independent, but Montessori kids, you can sometimes tell from a mile away, because while some of the 3 or 4-year-olds are screaming help for the adults, the Montessori kids are typically screaming at you, I can do it myself. But the independence is the thing that they carry with them when they leave our environment and move into their next educational environment. They're able to to carry those skills along, and so to try to foster promote that. We don't do anything for a child that they're capable of doing for themselves. So our 2.5-year-olds or 3-year-olds are pouring their own milk, they're serving their plates at lunch, carrying their plates to the table, and when they invariably spill, they're cleaning up after themselves as well.
Goodness,
You know,
I'm pretty sure parents just love that, especially bring that into the household, like going back home.
we do have supportive parents that encourage those same types of characteristics or traits at home, and that helps us both at school. So it works both ways. What we're doing at school is probably helpful to the parents at home, and for them to be emphasizing these types of behaviors at home will help the child when they're at school.
That's pretty cool. Well, I want to personally thank you guys for coming. Once again, this is Dan and Nicole Johnson. So thanks for coming, and thanks for sharing what your school does, and not for profit, and love to see you guys to continue and prosper. So thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks for tuning in today. You are watching Making a Difference, and I am Brianna Jackson. Today my guests are Steve and Mark from Beta Beta Q. So guys, go ahead and tell me what Beta Beta Q is and how long you've been around.
Okay. Well, Beta Beta Q was started around 2005 as an organization to bring together folks who love to barbecue and also want to give back to the community. We're doing events now where we're doing some fundraisers, trying to raise money for, response, like a disaster relief fund, where we can respond to some local disasters and supply barbecue to the folks who have been affected by the disaster. We're also doing a fundraiser for the Central Missouri Honor Flight Group, where we're going to raffle off the smoker. And so if there's any folks out there interested in winning a really nice smoker, please get a hold of us later.
And how many members would you say you guys have? Is this something where you guys meet on the regular, or are you looking to expand your time together and expand membership? How is that looking for you guys?
Oh yeah, we've got about 25 to 30 people that we have for members. And as far as expanding, we always want more people. The more we have, the more that we can do with other people.
Okay. And is this just Columbia, or do you go out further than that? Where is your area that you stop, or how does that work?
We don't really stop anywhere, but it's primarily focused on Central Missouri.
Okay.
You know, the Columbia and the communities around Columbia is where we probably have most of our members from. We do have one guy from Washington, Missouri. I think he used to live here, but he moved away, but he's still active in things. So, but yeah, we're looking for new members, folks who love barbecue and love to help others. And the more the merrier. And you also learn a lot about barbecue from your fellow barbecue enthusiasts. We'll occasionally get together and just do some barbecues, share some stories about how to prepare. There's lots of things that we have to look at on how to prepare or select the meat, how to prepare it, how to cook it, and there's really no end to what you can do with barbecue. You know.
Right.
Yeah. So.
What is your favorite thing to help give to those families who are in need? Is there a certain type of meat, or is there a certain recipe that you like to help give out? Anything like that?
Oh, I'd say probably pulled pork would be one of the main ones, because you can do so much of that. I mean, you can do it bulk-wise. You can do so much more with pulled pork, and it's fairly inexpensive as compared to some of the other cuts. So, and people love it.
People do love it.
Yeah.
I love it, so I know that it has to be a hit everywhere else.
Yeah.
Do you know how many families or how many different things that you've been able to help throughout your programming?
Well, actually, we're just kind of getting rolling again. There was a period of time where things had slowed down, so we're just trying to bring things back again. So right now, we're just focusing on trying to tell the community about us, so we can gather more folks who are interested in joining us for our cause. So when the disaster does hit, which we know someday it's going to, we'll be ready to roll and respond to that. So we're just trying to get our feet on the ground for that right now.
Okay, and since you guys are coming back, do you have any other events that are going on this year that you'd like to talk about and kind of tell our audience more about?
Yeah, we've got, we're doing this raffle for the honor flight, for the Central Missouri Honor Flight. And May 17th, we're going to be at the Westlake Hardware on West Worley, and we'll be actually selling tickets for that. But we'll also be cooking for the public and selling food for that, and all the proceeds will go to the Central Missouri Honor Flight.
Okay, and can you guys go ahead and tell me more about this drawing and what you guys are doing on this June 14th date?
Okay. Again, it's for the Central Missouri Honor Flight. Now, this is a custom smoker that I started building, but Steve and another friend, Brad, put together the graphics to fashion it after the World War II P-51 Mustang. So the colors and the design are based on that. So we're hoping to sell as many tickets as we can to get as many of our veterans on the plane and out there to DC to see their memorial. So
That's awesome. That's a great
Yeah.
cause. That's a really great thing that you guys are doing. Is there any other things that your members are doing to go out and represent Beta Beta Q in any other type of festivals or contests that are coming up?
Well, we've got a backyard barbecue contest at, we're partnering with Schnucks, and this will be raising money for the Disaster Relief Fund. And what they're doing is they're putting together a 3-item barbecue contest. One will be chicken, the other will be pork, and the other will be beef. And it's a small entry fee, but all proceeds go back to the Beta Beta Q Society for the disaster relief.
Awesome. And if someone wasn't a part of Beta Beta Q, could they enter into this?
Oh yes, it's
Okay.
open for all the public.
Okay.
And this will be on June 7th this year.
Oh, awesome.
sure. And folks who might be interested in taking a look at our organization, they can log on to our website, which is betabetaq.org.
BetaBetaQ.org.
That's right.
And will they find out who to contact if they are interested in being a member, or can you give them that information now?
Sure. There's some contact information on there, but if they're interested in joining us or have any questions regarding Beta Beta Q, they can call me personally at 443-6117. That's my home number. I don't mind giving that out for folks who might be interested. So.
Good. Well, that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about, but is there anything else that you really wanted to sell home to our audience and make sure that they're aware of?
You know, I don't want people to get the impression that they have to be competitive barbecuers. This is for anyone who loves to barbecue, likes to hang around other folks who enjoy the same thing, learn about barbecue, and most of all, help others in doing something we love to do and bringing people together for our cause.
Cool. So let's say I wanted to be involved in this organization, but I don't know how to barbecue. What would you like someone who is interested in the organization? How can they help, or what are you looking for in someone who is helping?
Really, it's for barbecue enthusiasts. You don't have to be able to cook to join the group. You just have to love barbecue.
Okay. And do you guys hold meetings, or is this something that you guys are under the process of getting together?
We do hold meetings, but we are, you know, we just really need to get more members so we can get a little more organized, you know, develop committees and focus more on growth and serving others. So it's still in the works. Right now, most of the time the directors are meeting, but we're working on developing that the best we can. So.
Well, guys, thanks so much. If you are interested in being involved with this, you can go to betabetaq.org. And if you would go ahead and give out your number just one
Okay.
more time.
All right. It's 443-6117.
443-6117. I've been Brianna Jackson. This has been Making a Difference. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you guys for really being part of the show today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.